Hey, Chris. How's everybody? Knees. Just to start it off, I'll start that over again. I don't want to start with a grunt. Just did it again. To start things off, I'm really proud of our football team and our coaching staff. I couldn't be prouder of either one of them. That was a good football team that we beat, and it was a hard-fought game. It could have gone any way. It was a battle of will, as you saw out there. It could have gone either way. Last year, it went the other way, and we knew that. We talked at halftime. It was the same score. We talked about that, and then it became looking that way. In the second half, they scored 2 quick touchdowns, and there was just no way that we were going to lose that ball game. We've been through that before, and so we got that squared away. And we're just really proud of the players and the coaches.
Coach, at any point have you ever had to call a situation where you had to call 2 timeouts and get everyone on the side just to?
No, I've never called 2 timeouts, but I needed more time to express myself to my players, and I won't get into what I said. It was family business, but it had to be said because we were going in the wrong direction, and we just needed to get reorganized. And that's what a great bunch of players that I have and coaches is they got the job done. So I'll never forget that. I'll appreciate that as long as I live. That was it's an honor and I'm humbled to coach those players and coach with those coaches because they got the job done. I saw it fading away, couldn't let it fade away, and they got it done.
Definitely a powerful moment. But after that, they get the sack, fumble, field goal. Push that aside. You finished. You finished strong. It's one thing to call those timeouts and have that speech, but then to react down the stretch the way the team did, got to make you feel pretty good besides the X's and O's.
Like I said, I couldn't be prouder of those players. I love those players because that defense, we started not playing our responsibilities, and they had been the entire first half. You don't hold a team to this that can run the ball like that. It has a great running back, unless you're playing pretty good. So we played really a good first half. It was 10-0 17-0 at halftime. Last year it was 10-0 and should have been more, but the point being it was about the same. And that's what I mean. I'll never forget. I saw the same thing starting to happen again, and I just wouldn't have been doing my job if we didn't correct that.
7 sacks from the defense, came from all angles.
They were just playing their tails off. And the coaches, Tony, Cal, Rich, Dave, all those guys, Bees, put in all the defensive coaches. I mean, they were just jacked up. Guys were jacked up on the sideline. They were jumping up and down, and it was a fun game. No game's fun for me. I mean, I'm just waiting until that last second. But they knew they did something special.
Tyler Hansen, the quarterback, said after the game that he knew that you guys had 2 defensive tackles that they had to look out for. But he was surprised that you guys had the defensive ends. They kept coming and you guys were able to rotate something.
Yeah, we have, I would say, you have 4 starters. I would say we have 12 defensive linemen that we can rotate in there that are all, the tackles are all 300-pound players. Zach Mash plays an end, which we played him an end. So that's three 300-pound players plus 255-pound pie out at the end that gives us speed. But you know, people forget about guys we have like Satelli, you know, Lico Satelli, Pie. I mean, we have some guys that can really come off the edge, and we have some young guys that can too. The guy, you know, TJ that scored the touchdown, that actually did score the touchdown. I mean, we have some young, really good football players that you guys don't know their names yet, you know, because they're really, we've got really a young team. It's really exciting.
I get that, especially that first quarter, maybe the full first half. Colorado showed a lot of blitz. They didn't blitz all the time, but I mean, they had 4, 5, 6 guys in line.
Right.
At the beginning of the game, did that cause a little bit of confusion on the offense?
No, you know, we knew they were going to come after Mo. I mean, we knew going in. We didn't know what they were going to run strategically or scheme-wise because, you know, they're all from, you know, Minnesota Vikings, Washington Redskins, you know, all kinds of places. So we broke down all that film and studied all of it, but you have too much stuff to have. So we really knew that we had to adjust when the game started. But we did know they were going to run Stewart at us. The quarterback is very active. He's a good bootleg player. You know, he forces the corner. We knew we were going to see that. We knew they had one good receiver. The other, you know, the other side, 2 guys traded off. We knew they had a good tight end, and we knew they had a pretty good offensive line. But see, what we really tried to do is we wanted to tackle Stewart in the backfield. So instead of playing gaps, we played them head up, and they're big, tall guys. They're 6'8", 6'7" guys. And we pushed them back to get into the running back's way. And then we'd slide off and make a tackle, or a backer would come up and make a tackle. But that strategy, which worked pretty good.
You talked about making adjustments. You knew you had to make adjustments once the game started. Was some of those adjustments allowing Moniz to run more?
No, Moniz ran because there wasn't anybody to throw to. Moniz, we went to throw the ball, although his feet, you know, get us a lot of plays. Now, the one was a call. You know, we have a play where we read the fullback, and you saw that at one of his touchdowns. And if that's taken, then there's going to be a gap over here, and he was gone. Everybody was looking at the fullback like he fell down, and that was a beautiful play. But that's a play. We have a pass off that play too. You know, he did that on his own. He's a winner. Brand Moniz is just a flat winner, and he willed himself to win that ball game, along with the rest of those players. Those players willed themselves and played as hard as they could possibly play to win that ball game. They were exhausted after the ball game.
Is that alarming to you that you say Moniz ran because he didn't really have anyone to throw to, that maybe your guys couldn't get open? Is that?
Well, you know, they have it doesn't alarm me. They've got a great defensive coordinator, a guy named Greg Brown, who's been a friend of mine for a long time. And he's been in the pros, and like you said, they were showing different stuff, and they were playing with 5 and 6 DBs. And we could have thrown it in there, but that's why he ran it. They played a lot of man. But if guys are playing man, then you can run if you can get by those front guys. So, you know, we tell him that if they're playing man and you can get by in between those linemen, I mean, they're watching their man. He's gone. So it's just sort of like his 5th read.
He started the game 1 for 7, maybe a little overran. At least that's what he said. But he had scampers of 22 and 34 yards on the field goal producing drive. So certainly paying immediate dividends. That was the only scoring in the first quarter.
Right. You know, I think it was a little tight, first ball game, and new set of receivers, and, you know, you hear that over and over and over again, and I think it bothered Royce, too. You know, Royce is a, you know, a Fred Bolitnikoff guy, well, and those other three guys aren't there anymore, and shoot, you know, he made a couple of misses, too. So I have no doubt we're really going to be good. I mean, we're going to be a top 10 offense again. That's the way the run and shoot is. I've believed in it all my life. I've defended every defense there is. That's the toughest defense to defend. And we started throwing better as we went along, and that's what happens with the run and shoot. But, and I'll tell you why, because you need to play game reps. I've said this for a month now, but practice reps are slower. They're slower, they're not as fast. Game reps are fast, so the timing's off. Notice he was throwing behind him, the timing's off. So the more game reps we get, the better we're going to be. And we have the talent. I mean, Billy Ray, Maya, we got guys behind them. Pollard's good. We get our two guys back for next week. You know, I don't know if I should announce it now, but I will. But they're going to join, and you know, they practiced with us, missed the game, but Aaron Brown and Darius Bright are going to both join. You know, they're going to play in the Washington game. So I think, you know, that's just more competition and makes us stronger.
When Colorado dropped back to throw the ball, it seemed like they were attacking Tank Hopkins. And really, I don't remember them throwing to Mike Edwards' side. But then Mike Edwards comes, and on that kick return, he returns it to midfield. What does that say about your new player from?
He's a big-time player, but so is Tank Hopkins. You know, I don't think they were throwing at Tank Hopkins. They may have, you know, they have one receiver that's a lot better than the other receiver, and that's who Tank was covering. Because he plays a wide side receiver, DB, that's where their good receiver was. So, you know, Tank's just, he's a good player. We've got a real good secondary.
You know, with the atmosphere being so, everyone all pumped up for the first game, national TV, do you think this will now serve as a...
I'm so jacked up that we won on national TV. Any national TV guys out there? Anyway, that's all right. I love you guys.
You think this will serve now?
We won one on national TV.
You think this will serve now as a detriment? You know, like the teach guys, like, you know, tell guys like Aaron Brown, Darius Bright, why would you want to miss this? Why would you want to miss the excitement that we're all having? That this will serve as a positive then?
No, we took care of that. You know, that was family business, and back when you were a kid, you probably did the same thing and didn't get in any trouble. But nowadays you can't do that, and I won't allow them to do that. So they took their punishment, and we're moving on.
Take one more question. Sorry for rewinding the clock a bit, but we're going in halftime, 17-0. I mean, obviously, CU won that third quarter. But going into halftime, you have to be pleased with that effort. Obviously, you won quarters 1, 2, and 4. Winning those first 2 quarters against a team that wanted to play the bully, and obviously we already talked about finishing this press conference, but you had to like the start too. Did you?
What'd you say? You're too intelligent for me, Chris. I mean, you've been
We
in
talked
Denver.
about what a great finish to get.
Oh,
But you
yeah.
also started well, up
Yeah.
17-0,
Yeah.
and
No,
minus
that
that
was
third
good.
quarter.
That was good, but
Yeah.
to me it was the same as last year.
Right.
Okay, now everybody's in there all jacked up, just like we were last year when we were up 10-0. Should have been up 28-0, but we weren't. So I was ticked off about that. I'm ticked off about that. And then we go out and they just run the ball all over us. And then it started to happen again. And I wouldn't get allowed that. I mean, if I would have had to go in there and give a shot at making a tackle, I would have. But I'm smarter than that.
All right, thanks, Coach.
All right.
Okay,
All right, Coach.
thank you guys. You guys are great. Appreciate it.